So, welcome to my channel. Okay, kidding. I'm Latanya. I'm the wonderful environmental science educator for the Cahaba River Society that is located here in Birmingham, Alabama. But I'm also now a wonderful journalist, reporter, and interviewer for Purposely Awaken. If you guys have not followed Purposely Awaken yet, don't know who you're following, but you need to go follow Purposely Awaken. You will not be disappointed. We do interviews, we get information to help you out, fitness, health, anything political. We have just Black excellence all over the whole entire board. So if you are a POC or a BIPOC, please, by all means necessary, follow. And follow me on Instagram, lscott3257. So what I'm doing now is I'm waiting for our meeting to start with Mr. Ashong, Derrick Ashong. He is just absolutely amazing. And I am checking to see. Supposed to start. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna read the intro. Derrick N. Ashong, which you told me his full name in the previous interview. This is just the second part to get to know what he's doing. All right. He's also known as DNA, which is awesome. He is great with music and just getting folks, I don't know, more educated with just everything. So he is a producer, a musician, and an entrepreneur known for working with major figures, including, I'm not even gonna read the rest of the names. This first name got me. You ready? You ready? Oprah Winfrey. And he is coming on now, so give me a second. I think I did it. Oh, there he is. Okay, he's coming on.
He is indeed coming on.
There he is. This is my partner.
No doubt. What's up, player?
What's happening?
Chilling. How you doing?
And I am just trying to hold on by a little tiny thread. I'm being pulled in all kinds of directions right now.
Oh man, I can imagine.
But it's a good thing. I'm trying to get on your level. I want to sit face to face with Oprah one day. You know?
Why not?
I'm on my way. I recently won an award for Alabama Rivers Alliance. They're a young emerging leader.
I know. Did you do the event, or is there like a ceremony, virtual or anything?
It was recorded. It was really just a thing, putting our faces with our awards on the screen and saying thank you. Here's your award. It would have been different, of course, if COVID wasn't here. I would have been gone for the weekend and receiving my award physically and giving.
See what I'm saying?
Speech.
You see what I'm saying? But I will say everybody else was on Instagram being like having no award, and you was there getting at least something. So I'm just saying, the rest of us was out here tweeting about you. So there you go.
Well, thank you. So okay, I know we don't have that much time. I know we got about 30 minutes, and our first part of the interview was awesome. I sent that off to the folks at Purposely Awakened, and they absolutely loved it. We were vibing so hard. So everybody knows who you are from the first interview, but what I want you to do is introduce yourself, tell them a little bit about you, and if you have any projects or anything that you're doing, please let us know, because I want the audience to not only get to know you on a personal level, but also get to know you on a business level, and just to find out ways how we can help you help us.
Oh my God, it's like a win-win-win. I love it. That's what's up. Okay, cool. You want me to just kick it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I can't say your full name. Like,
you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it simple for you. All right. So what's up, y'all? This is Derrick Ashong, aka DNA. I am a musician and entrepreneur. I work at the intersection of technology and entertainment. Originally from Accra, Ghana, born in Ghana, raised there and in Flatbush, Brooklyn, as well as in Riyadh and Doha in the Middle East. Came back to the US when I was, I guess, mid-teens. Every 4 years till I was 20, I moved to a new country. My work is at the intersection of tech and entertainment, and I'm primarily focused on how do you amplify the voices of young people and help them to do and see themselves through new eyes. And so I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of luminaries in the field. People like Oprah and Steven Spielberg, have worked with, BET and Al Jazeera and ABC Disney, have a few Emmy nominations to my credit, and have been able to really focus on how do you bring interactive media to the masses. And so now my focus is on the African continent. A few years ago, I created something called Take Back the Mic, the World Cup of Hip Hop. It was almost like American Idol meets Anthony Bourdain. Sadly, Mr. Bourdain is no longer with us, but that principle of looking at the world through culture is powerful. So he did it through food, we're doing it through music. And so we took that series, we were two-time Emmy finalists for Outstanding Interactive Program for that project. Now we've scaled it up, and we're doing it in Africa for the first time. So Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Rwanda, Mauritius, and South Africa. In this season, you'll be able to discover Nairobi, Lagos, Kigali, Joburg through the eyes of the hottest up-and-coming talents. And you, the audience, can go directly into the Take Back the Mic app and help us identify and amplify the voices of a new generation.
Goodness, I don't think we need to continue with the interview. You literally just
you said, you know what I'm saying, just do the do. So, I'm just trying I'm following instructions.
Hey, you dropped the mic. So I have a few questions. So
hit me.
Goodness gracious, like everything you said is just awesome. Like, dude, okay. So let me get to my question. So Take Back the Mic. How did you guys come up with this idea, and how did you get it started? And just like, give me some positives and some negatives of it, because of course with any great thing, there's always going to be some shadows lurking. So just tell us a little bit about that.
So Take Back the Mic is actually an extension of something we called SMT, which was the Sweet Mother Tour. And by Sweet Mother, it's actually a big West African hit. Like if you go to West Africa, it's the most popular song in history. It was done by a Nigerian artist named Prince Nico Mbaga, and it's sung at every wedding, every child, naming ceremony, outdooring. It's everywhere. And it's all about the love of your mother. Sweet mother, I no go forget you. The way you suffer for me. But in this case, we expanded it to our sweet mother, Africa. So we're looking at, okay, how do we think about our passion, our compassion, our love for the motherland? And it was quite an experience developing that project. And we actually wrote a song. We wrote our old, took the traditional vibe, wrote our raps, etc. on top of it. That video blew up in Ghana, #4 in the country, R. Kelly, Usher, Beyonce, and then us. This is how this all started. So then we started looking at, okay, well, how could you build a conversation across the diaspora? And we realized that, we're all facing a similar problem, and it's not just the African diaspora. Young people around the world are living in a society where historically a small segment of people get to write the story. Yeah. They create the narratives of what matters, what doesn't, what are our values, who is valuable, who is not. Who do the police help when they show up, and who did they hurt? And so we decided, that's a whole other conversation. Don't get me started.
We're gonna touch on that in a little bit.
All right, fair enough. I mean, basically, we are like, at a certain point, if you're looking at the, why the story of the hunt always glorifies the hunter and never the lion. You know what I'm saying? Why is cowboys and Indians, the cowboy is always the good guy? The Indian was there the whole time. He wasn't even an Indian till the cowboy ain't know what to call him except for that, right? Yeah. Who tells the story? And so we said, wow, historically, only a few. But this is the first generation with the talent and the technology to truly speak for itself. So we should take back the mic and let a generation speak for itself. That is the principle of the entire movement.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it musical right now.
Well, right? So we manifest that through technology and content. And how do you bring them together to amplify the voice of a next generation.
Oh my gosh. Okay, perfect. So you got me thinking about a musical that I like, that I really like. I'm addicted to it. I listen to it every single day. Hamilton.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story. My kids listen to it all day, every day.
Yes. Oh my
What?
God! When I need a pick me up, when the strings are being pulled in different directions for me to be
Straight
a
up.
keynote speaker, for me to teach, for me to do this and X, Y, and Z,
Yes.
it's like sometimes it gets overwhelming,
Yes.
and sometimes I want to be silent and I don't want to speak to anybody. I don't want to tell anybody my story, but so that's why I play that song, because you have no control of who lives, who dies, who tells your story. You have to tell your story. You're inimitable.
Exactly.
You are just one in a million. So tell your story.
That's right.
So
And history has its eyes on us right now.
yes, and I love that song. Okay, now you're going. I'm not gonna sing it.
I'm just saying. Is all I'm saying.
I'm not gonna sing it. Gosh, now I want to sing it. Okay, anyway. Okay, so with taking back the mic,
Yes.
I love the fact that you guys are creating a platform for people to tell their story and through their eyes. That's a big thing.
Yes.
Just like you said, everybody always amplifies the hunter and not, the lion.
That's right.
So for people to be in a position to tell their story, whether it's by music, by art, by dance, by poetry, etc., it is something really powerful. And one, I just want to say thank you. And another thing is with you being in the lineup with Beyonce and all these other great people, it's like we need to have our eyes on you guys. Like literally, like we need to have our eyes on you. And you said that Take Back the Mic is an app. Now, how is that? If it's an app, how do we go about it? And is that just creating an opening or a platform for us to speak, talk?
It's awesome. It's actually, so it launched like 2 weeks ago. So this is super, super timely. You can go to takebackthemic.com, takebackthemic.com. It's a placeholder site right now, but it has the links to download from Android and download from Google. Bloop, 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 bloop. You don't know. Oh, my girl, you don't play. I see you.
Right
I
now.
see you.
So
there you go.
So basically, you're looking at other people's platforms expressing themselves, right?
Well, yeah. And what happens is you can have content inside the app that comes from independent creators or from productions. So what we did is we created The Mic Africa as a show that is running on the app that is letting the audience cast who appears in the show. So for example, when you have the app, on the bottom there's a little a couple of links. One of them says charts. When you go to that charts link, you'll see a bunch of flags. If you click a flag, you will see who are the top 5 or 10 or 20 artists from that country this week.
Wow.
And what we did is in the last 2 weeks with the soft launch, we let these artists come in to say, I want to compete in one of those 6 countries. But what will start to happen in the coming weeks is fans will be there and you get highlighted. When you watch something, you get points. When you share, you get points. The algorithm is intelligent. It knows that, oh my God, Latanya was person number 23 to amp this, to share it to her community. If 2,300, 23,000, 23 million people follow, it blows up, you blow up too. Because you have so many young people that are tastemakers, especially in our communities. They're the ones who decide what's hot. And then it gets co-opted by other people and they never get the credit. The app algorithmically tracks who gets the credit, right? That's what we mean by take back the mic. Literally, whether you're the creator, you're the curator, you're the fan, you're the artist.
Control.
Exactly. And now we rise up and down and people get to see and discover you for your sense of taste, for what you care about. It's all building community around great content.
Well, I downloaded it. I got it. I'm gonna have to create. If y'all see that, hold on. Let's see. Hopefully, y'all can see that.
Hey,
y'all download this app.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna see. Now you're gonna keep me up late again at night because I'm gonna be playing with that app and helping folks out.
No doubt. No doubt.
So tell me how. Tell me some good stuff and some bad stuff about everything that's going on. I want your take on not only COVID. I want your take on police, what's going on with that. I want your take on our youth and the direction where they're going, and then how Take Back the Mic can help form a positive outlook on these things.
This is a beautiful
I told you
question.
we were going to touch on it.
Nah, you're real, and you are good at your job. I will say, I've been seeing a lot of note online and on social media, whatever, people talking about, oh my God, America's sliding into autocracy. America is flirting with fascism and all this stuff. And I'm like, with all due respect, when you tell me that America is creeping towards fascism, I would ask you respectfully to inquire to a Native American when fascism showed up on their shores. Ask an African American, when were we ever really equal? I mean, people are acting like this is all new, but that's the problem. It's been there from the beginning of the country. The country was founded on sinking sands. We never acknowledged the humanity of all people of all races and ethnicity, people of all genders. Half the population was disenfranchised out the gate, but then even more, because you're talking about the people referred to as having rights in the Constitution initially were white property owning males. That is how we started. People don't want to acknowledge that the eugenicist movement was found fertile soil and grew in the United States, right? That the teachings, I'm just saying, we taking back the mic, we gonna speak the truth. We ain't gonna talk no nonsense. You know what I mean? Let me get that mic. I'll never drop it. Listen, we don't recognize that eugenicist movement then inspired Nazi Germany. That a lot of the teachings that came out of what we did also inspired apartheid South Africa. And now all these dirty chickens just come back home to roost. Why? Not because the society is thinking differently about itself, but because of cell phone cameras. Because now you see it. And if you don't see it, nothing happens.
This is a tool.
Yeah, exactly. So everyone gets lit over George Floyd, but Breonna Taylor, it takes months and months and months for them to then do nothing. I would say, I mean, and this is the issue. Like, I would argue that this is a moment of reckoning about what kind of country does this want to be? If America still wants to ride off of old school propaganda of like, oh, no, we're great, we're the land of freedom, we're not as bad as the Soviets. Okay, cool. But the problem is, the only reason I keep thinking about, why did people buy the propaganda so hard? Because the Soviets didn't have good clothes, man. Them cats was not fly. Everything looked kind of gray and blank. They had dope ballet and amazing romance and vodka and everything. But when you look at the Soviet marketing, it was very red and gray. It wasn't cool. We were like, I wish they all could be California girls. What? We had Earth, Wind, and Fire. We had all kind of dope stuff. We were interesting, exciting, sexy. You know what I'm saying?
You better.
Right? We have rock and roll. And all of these cultural elements that came out of Black culture helped to market American culture to the world without carrying with it the story of the burden of Blackness in America. Because of the technology, we see that today. And the whole world is watching. And we as a nation have to decide, who do we really want to be?
I wish I had a mic, just drop the mic. So, dude, like, okay, in your words, listening to you speak, there's so much passion. There's more passion in what you are talking about than what I have ever felt talking to anybody else. And with that, I want to say we were talking about cell phones, we were talking about tech, you were talking about that. And your tech, I'm gonna call you a techie. Yes, I'm calling you that day.
I like it.
So you're using Take Back the Mic for a positive spin.
Yes.
But what other things are you doing to help uplift communities and to change not change the present and future of our great nation?
This is a big question for maybe not the reasons you're asking.
I don't know. This is fine. Give it
I'll
to me.
tell you, I'll be honest with you. I think that the US is ceding its place on the global stage, at least its leadership position. So my focus now, I used to be super activisty around how do I support the community and build it up, and et cetera. I've not lost or passion or commitment to that, but I've shifted my focus. Part of the reason I decided to do the Mic Africa and not the Mic America is because I'm like, you know what? We need to start hearing from some new places. Malcolm X said maybe 50 years ago that at the end of the day, Black people, no matter where they are, would be disrespected and diminished and downgraded so long as Africa was also downgraded. Because if your mama ain't nobody, then you ain't nobody. That is the way that this society operates. And so at a certain point, we have to look to the source. You know, why are people proud to be like, oh, where you from? Oh, I'm from Paris. But they're not proud to be like, yo, I'm from Lagos. As a matter of fact, actually, people from Lagos are hella proud, but the rest of the world doesn't recognize the power of it, right? Right? They don't recognize the value of it. You know, and then they'll have all these ideas. Oh, you're gonna go to Africa? Oh my God, you moved to Africa? I'm talking to you from Africa right now. I'm in Mauritius, little island in the Indian Ocean, right? I moved back. I moved my family out of the United States because I didn't want my little brown girls to grow up thinking that they were less than. I'm like, I'm not having it. I wasn't raised like that, and I don't want them feeling that. At the same time, we can't forget our communities back in the US. There's a diasporic dialogue happening here. And there are communities that are not necessarily rooted in Africa over the last 400 or 500 years. But at the end of the day, humanity comes from there. So we have to look and seek and understand the humanity of other people. One of the dangers of white supremacy, one of the things that makes it so insidious is it's built on fear. Fear that we would visit the cruelty upon some that they have visited upon others. But when you look at the cultures that we come from, that's not what's there. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of compassion. There's a lot of comfort in oneself. So what I'm trying to do now, and if you talk about what we're doing to impact the world, we have a campaign called 70 by 25. 70 by 25 is very simple. When the lockdown happened, internet usage worldwide went up 70%. In Africa, the 4G internet, the mobile internet, was at like 7% flat. Why? Yeah, because Africa has the highest mobile internet cost of anywhere on the planet to this day.
Really?
You look at a country like Rwanda. Rwanda has some like 90, maybe 95% 4G mobile penetration in terms of access. You could get it all over the country. They got better coverage countrywide than we have in the US. They have like maybe 10% 4G usage.
So that's probably why I couldn't really talk to my friend in Lagos.
You see what I'm saying? Because they're going to run out of minutes. They're going to run out of data, right? So what we said is, yo, why did TV blow up? Why did radio blow up? Why does everybody have that? Because all you had to do is buy the box. But when it comes to mobile, you buy the box, then you got to buy the bandwidth, then you got to buy the, you know, the Netflix subscription to get the content with the bandwidth that you paid for on the box that was expensive. Like, why? It's crazy. You know, by the time you're done, you're still hungry. You don't know what you're going to eat. So we like, let's flip the script a little bit. Why can't we have, just like television worked off of ad support, radio worked off of ad support, why can't we have ad supported mobile? 70 by 25 is a campaign to take Africa from 7% 4G penetration to 70% 4G penetration by 2025. And we're doing it with mobile companies, handset manufacturers, telecoms, advertisers, and inside that Take Back the Mic app, when you watch and when you share, you get points. Right now, people are like, well, what are the points for? What are the points for? Girl, you asking the right questions. I'm going to tell you what the points is for. Starting in January, depending on what country you're in, if the mobile companies have partnered with us, you can translate those points into data. So the more you're in the app, the more you discover and amplify the voices of the next generation of creators, you earn your phone minutes. You ain't got to pay for it no more. Because of there is a currency to our culture. There is a value in culture. That is what we do at Take Back the Mic. We're currency.
You guys are working. Okay, that's that entrepreneur knowledge coming in right there. Okay, perfect. Okay. I'm blown away. I did not know that this was happening, and I'm embarrassed that I didn't know that this was happening. So I'm very grateful for you to let me know this information, and our wonderful viewers and people who are going to be watching this. Like that's some intense stuff. So
It's
get
super
on that
fresh.
app to help people get those minutes.
Get on that app, and we have a bunch of dope partners, like big players that have decided they want to help and support and be a part of this campaign. So what's going to happen is over the next few months, you're going to see accelerate. December 1st, we're going to launch the Mic Africa, and you're going to be able to watch it in that mobile phone. And starting in January, again, it won't be everywhere at first. It depends on the companies in your region, but you will be able to win a data that, such as, oh, you're in the top 10% users this week, top 5% most engaged this week, top 2%. Here's a data package brought to you by Coca-Cola or whoever the case may be, right? That is where this is going. And all of a sudden, the brands get to reach the audience. They get to understand the audience, where the audience gets rewarded for their taste and for being the curators of culture.
So I am definitely, like, while you're talking, like, I'm trying to go ahead and sign in and get the verification.
She's like, let me just put my number in. Let me get that SMS.
I'm trying to do it, but every time I'm looking at the number, I'm trying to, like, look at you and not be rude. So
that's so funny. It's all good. It is all good.
Perfect. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we got a lot to cover in a short amount of time right now.
Yeah.
So, dude, like, you literally have blown my mind. So we've been talking for a little over 20 minutes now. Not only did you came to the U.S., goodness gracious. First of all, let's go back. I'm going to go back now that I think about it. Tell me about some stories. Now we're getting into the personal part of you.
Okay.
Just kind of making it all come together in the end. Let's go back. When you were in school and there was something that happened and you helped one of your classmates out. And if you guys don't know about this story, you guys just need to Google him and just read, because like that touched my heart. It let me know that you have a caring heart. You really care. Nobody knows if that person has, we got Rachel Franklin. Wait, where's Rachel?
Rochelle, she's my chief operating officer, but she shouldn't be in this call right now.
She requested, and I was asking. Okay, well, if she requests back, I'll add her in.
Okay.
Let's go back. One, because nobody knows if your classmate was Black, white, Hispanic, Chinese, whatever. Nobody knows. We just know that you helped the classmate. But I really want you to touch on that, because you've come a long way. Like, I feel like we are best friends. We've been knowing each other since childhood. And like, just tell, I want people to know your story. Like, I'm so passionate about your story.
Okay, so this is gonna sound crazy, but which classmate? Because I helped a few in different ways. Yeah.
Okay. Boom, gas mask.
Okay, that. Wait, so now that was when I was a kid, and I actually did not help them. I did not. Like, this is a crazy story. So
go back and write the editor, because it's in the
no,
story.
I know, right? All right, I'm gonna tell you what happened. Yeah, that is heavy. I was 15 years old. I was living in the Middle East in Doha. I was actually in Jersey the summer before, when I was 14, and they heard about the invasion of Iraq, invasion of Kuwait by Saddam Hussein, by Iraq. And so everyone was like, oh snap, stuff is about to go down. And my family had to decide what to do. Now, my dad was back in the Middle East in Doha, and we were in Jersey. They decided it was important for us to be together. So while everyone was trying to figure out if they're going to leave, we went back. And then like 6 months later or whatever, they're like, Desert Shield was going into Desert Storm. They evacuated half of my school. The people went to other countries. Everyone was scared. Those of us who stayed, we had to stop sleeping in our bedroom, whatever. We'd every night sleep all the family in the same room, seal all the doors and the windows with cellophane, whatever is that, saran wrap and tape to make sure no gas could come in while you're sleeping. And my mom and my sister would sleep in the bed and in my parents' room, and my dad and I would sleep on an air mattress on the floor. And, right next to you have your gas mask. So what happened, and this changed my life, is I was at school every day. You go to school, put on your backpack, put the gas mask on, in a little bag on a string.
That was recommended. That was automatic to have that gas mask, because
it was automatic every day.
Wow.
Every day. I still have photos of me and my sister wearing our gas mask, just like whatever. Yeah, it was crazy. But we didn't wear it to school. We would just carry it. So one day we were in class, And, you know, the school is half empty. Like if you think about a school where 50% of the people are gone, everything is quiet. It's different. The whole energy is different. And we're sitting there in like chemistry class or maybe physics, something like that. And all of a sudden we hear this huge explosion and the whole building shakes. And so, you know, it's like, oh my God, what'd you do? And I reached down and I grabbed my gas mask and I put it on. And that's why I was like, I was not heroic in this moment. I was awakened in this moment because I looked up and for the first time I noticed which of the kids in my class had a gas mask and which of the kids did not.
Oh my goodness.
And then you ask yourself, oh, if the gas were to hit the fan, do I give you my gas mask? Right? Because if we get bombed like that, one of us is going to die and some of us are going to watch our friends die. And that just transformed my life. That was a moment where I was like, I was petrified. I didn't know what to do. And all of us are sitting there in shock. And I remember I did a gig in Berkeley a few years back. And we did a Take Back the Mic event there, TBTM Bay Area. And basically, one of my friends, who actually one of my sister's friends, she was a little younger than me, she came and we were talking. She's like, you know, you talk about that story about those gas masks. She's like, I know exactly what you're talking about. She's like, I was one of the kids who didn't have one. And we weren't in the same class because we were not the same age, but we talked about what it meant because it all depended on your country that you came from if they had the resources to get it to their citizens. You know, and it just hit me. I'm like, yo, people is out there making big decisions that impact people's lives on a very tactical level. And they're making decisions that don't account for the humanity of people. And why would children have to ask themselves these questions? Which of us will live? Which of us will die? Who lives? Who dies? Who tells your story? So I just decided I was going to tell a different kind of story, one that would enable people to see themselves in eyes that reflect the actual power that people have. Not just to be like, well, I don't know this, I don't know that, I don't have these people, I don't have this money. No. You bring something to the table. And if you can find other people who recognize what you bring to the table and work with each other in mutual respect and collaboration, you can build tactical, tangible power. It's not a theory. It's been done since the dawn of time. It's just that now we have better tools to understand and organize. So when you people ask me like, oh, D, are you an activist? I'm like, no, not really. Because I think of an activist as somebody who's committed their life to advancing a specific cause. What I've done is committed my life to amplifying the voices of other people, helping them to understand their power. If they become an entrepreneur or an activist or an artist, so be it. But I want to use my skills to enhance and amplify the skills of others.
I'm about to cry because you just reminded me of some things that I'm doing over here in Birmingham, Alabama, as far as protecting our watershed and being able to fight for residents who don't have clean, pristine water. The Cahaba River, I work for the Cahaba River Society, and the Cahaba River supplies over 85 million gallons of water during the summertime to Birmingham residents. But if you live in certain areas, you will not get water that is as clean. And this also reminds me of Flint. And for us to fight for basic needs and necessities for life, or question, if I live in this area, will I continue to be supplied water? That it touched me when you and the classmate or the other student of your school that didn't have a gas mask, like, it's weighing on me. That's really heavy on me, because there are students that I serve or take out to the river who don't have a means for lunch. So it's
in a world where food goes to waste. Yeah, no, what you're talking about is mad real. In a world where food goes to waste on a daily basis, some people go hungry, right? And folks will look at like the work that we do and be like, yo, you're like a business dude, you're an entrepreneur. You talk to venture capitalists, like how are you talking then about, food and food poverty and how, the fact that everyone should have more, like that sounds like socialism. And I'm like people allow themselves to get caught up in these stupid boxes that other people have created that mean nothing. At the end of it, capitalism, socialism, communism, it's meaningless. What we're talking about is humanity. And what are the ways in which human beings can have the opportunity to fulfill themselves, to fulfill their potential, to live in harmony, and to grow? And what happens is as soon as people can put you in a specific box, whether it's by politics, ideology, religion, gender, identity, whatever it is, then they can control you because they can make you feel like you're in opposition to this other party. And while y'all are squabbling amongst themselves, somebody else is reaping the benefits of that disorder. We see a lot of that in the United States today. This is one of the things that the U.S. has to decide, as I said, what kind of country we want to be. And the rest of the world wants to ask, or has to ask, if we're the kind of country they want to follow. I think that for people like us who have a vision of we think the world could be better, we have to move beyond those old labels. It's all manufactured. It's stuff that's like maybe 100 years old, and people just made it up so that they could, promote the ideas that they thought was in their particular interests. We need to start looking, how do we build bridges to get people access to the resources they need to flourish? Not just to survive, to flourish as human beings. There's more than enough. And it doesn't mean you have to take from other people. It does mean that we have to start being honest about what is humanity and how do we put a value on it.
Well, you have to define that on your own terms, because if you, oh my goodness, the government runs everything. I don't know. I just pushing that to the side. It's just, let's not go into that.
Whole other conversation.
Let's not go into that tangent. Okay, so before I let you go, we were talking about your goodness gracious, like that just seriously weighed heavy on me. That touched my soul, Derrick. So grew up in a house without running water. You experienced this life-changing event, traveling, and now you're back in Africa. Like how does it work? Like how do you do what you do? Like what continues to motivate
you? I am sitting here next to a picture of my mom who passed away 2 years ago. An African woman who grew up with a very, very clear and proud sense of self. She was a powerful, powerful woman. And she taught me a lot. And she kind of gave me a bit of a mandate, an understanding of my place in the world. When I was a kid growing up, my mother used to say to me, you're special. You're not better than anybody else, but you are special. And I always thought of that in terms of maybe it's not just me as an individual who I'm special, but that everybody is special. That everybody has the ability to not worry about comparing to somebody else. Recognize that you come into this world formed as a unique gift unto the planet. If you choose to be a gift, you could also be a poison. That's on you. I think that the legacy that my mother left requires me to contribute something while I'm here. And because I believe that Africa has been for a long time underestimated and undervalued, I've decided to make a contribution to the uplifting of African people, both at home and around the world. I think that the lessons I learned in that process enable me to look at other places and say, what could I do for people in India or in Indonesia, Philippines? What could I do for people in Brazil or Colombia? And then how do you bring that circle back? Say, what can I do in Flint? What could I do in Paris? What could I do in London? Or what could I do in LA? I want to start by amplifying the voices of the people we never hear from, or we don't hear enough from them. Somebody's always out here telling their story on their behalf. And yet these are some of the most amazing, beautiful, powerful, and articulate people on the planet. What happens when you give them the mic and let them speak for themselves? That is what we're doing right now, but we haven't lost the connection or the commitment to our people back in the States and around the world. I think that right now, for the sake of my own mother, I am serving my motherland. And that is what motivates me.
You're amazing. You are amazing. You are amazing. To not only honor your mother and to give to others, you are giving It's emotional for me, and I'm not going into my story because we're gonna have to end this soon. You're giving people the opportunity to express themselves on an emotional, intellectual, whatever way, however they can way. And it does not have to be uniform. And what I mean by that is if I get in front of 20 people and I start talking, I may stumble upon some words. I may tell a joke. I'm going to be myself. I'm goofy. I'm silly. But that is not the normal. That is not a uniform process into speaking to somebody. But if you get Oprah or Beyonce or any of these high folks in their careers to speak, it is going to be uniform. They have to have that kind of eloquence, and elegance, and it's uniform. It just stays the same. So for you to open the door for people to be better for themselves and to be themselves, that is powerful within itself. So I just want to say thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Allowing people to tell their story is a big thing. Today I turned in a application for a fellowship that I hope I get. And it dawned on me that I have a hard time talking about myself because within the interest letter, you have to talk about yourself. It was hard. I got no sleep. It was hard. And it wasn't a long letter because I've never had the opportunity to talk about myself. And when I do, I cannot get the words right to come out of my mouth. So I choose not to talk about myself. But I also had to ask for recommendation letters. And to read these recommendation letters was like, oh, LaTonya's an amazing person.
Yes.
And it dawned on me, why can't I express myself the way people see me? It's hard. So I know a lot of people are going through that, and some people are going to go onto this app and just go out on a whim and say, hey, I'm going to tell my story whatever way I can, but you're going to know my story, but I want to tell my story. Because if you get other people to tell your story, they're going to leave a lot of key elements and parts out. So
exactly.
I appreciate you. Like you are just the coolest cat on the planet. Your mother was right. You are special. You are amazing and just so intelligent. And you continue to just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
So before we end, I just want to say, if you have any closing remarks, please let Purposely Awaken know. And also let your audience know. I'm so glad that I got a chance to interview you, Derrick, to learn more about you and what you're doing and your insight of the things that are going on in today's society. So go ahead, let us know.
All right. Thank you, LaTonya, first of all, for inviting me to be here with you. It is an honor to talk to somebody of your caliber. You're an excellent interviewer, but you're also an inspiring person, and I appreciate you. I love your humility and your openness in sharing that you have a hard time talking about yourself. I think we need to encourage more of our people, especially Black women, to do just that. Our stories matter, your stories matter, and it will help other people to understand themselves better too. If I was going to leave one message, I would say, I've been talking to a lot of people lately and everyone's stressed out about what's going on in the world. And it's so much pain and drama. It's COVID and it's race and it's the cops and it's all kind of nonsense and drama, pure foolishness and some deep levels of wickedness at the same time. And I think it can be really down-pressing and make you feel small and hurt and afraid. We can't even go outside. We can't even hug each other anymore. I think that it is in moments like this where the world seems to have to lack in hope, that people who believe in something greater than themselves, something that can bridge the gap between people, that is the moment where people like you shine. And the reason is because sometimes you're out there, you are shining, but there's a lot going on, a lot happening. There's a lot happening. It's bright out here. You don't know what's going on. Nobody can see it. It's in the darkness that we see the light. It's in the darkness that we see that candle, where we find that flame. It's in the darkness that we find all the small flames that could come together to create a bonfire. When the sun is shining, we don't even notice them. This is the moment. This is the moment. Don't let the fact that it's dark outside make you feel like, oh my God, the demons is out. Yes, they are out. And so are all of us who are shining. It's time to light it up. And I think that the world will be all the better for it.
Thank you, Derrick. You're so inspirational. Where can people contact you?
Hey, you can check me out. Holler at me on Twitter. You're going to see me talking politics all day. DNA TV on Twitter. You could go to the website, takebackthemic.com, takebackthemic.com. Download the app. Hit that charts button. See what's happening in various countries. We are in beta. You can help us build this bad boy. Send us comments and feedback. December 1st is the official launch. So come in and help us to amplify these stories.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, D. Thank you, D. Hey.
Boom.
Hey, man, let's keep in touch. You were just awesome.
Sure.
You are my best friend. And, dude, like, I got to introduce you to my mom. She's going to be, like, talking to you and say, oh. That's all you're going to hear all day.
She's been watching that in Hollywood. That's what's up.
Well, let's
awesome.
talk again later.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be on an interview, but let's just keep in contact. You were just so.
You have my info, so let's definitely be in touch. And I thank you once again, and I appreciate you.
Thanks, Derrick. Same here. Bye.
All right, peace, fam. Good luck.
Thanks.